Hello and welcome back. This is episode 161 of NooBTooB, a weekly independent podcast where Yuzo and I are playing Uncharted 2 and admiring how hot the characters are.
Yeah, dude, look at that, man. You got Chloe. She just went in the water. She got the wet shirt.
Oh yeah, look at those rippling muscles right there.
Yeah, and her facial features are awesome. They really did. They got the cute button nose, the flowing hair, like
and the strong jawline, the 5 o'clock shadow, that half tuck, it's so sexy.
Have you been talking about Nathan Drake and drooling over him the entire time?
Well, I mean, it's not gay if they're fictional, right?
Who wrote that rule?
I'm Tobin Kozaire. Say your name, asshole!
All right, I'm Yuzo Watanabe. This week we're talking about Uncharted 2, among other things, and Dead Space Extraction, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Pixeljunk Monsters, and Holy Invasion of Privacy, Badman. What did I do to deserve this? Hey!
Sorry.
Go see previews!
Our new releases include Half Minute Hero, Boy and His Blob, Demon Souls, Forza 3, and Borderlands. But let's get started with Uncharted 2! Uncharted 2!
Uncharted Pimp Cups. I must say I have to agree with Misery on his tweet that he did.
What did he say?
There's no truth in advertising. Basically, there was a chart.
It's true. They say it's supposed to be Uncharted, and all they're doing is looking at charts
the entire time.
I know.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, seriously, it's terrible.
So it's basically thumbs down. I mean, that's this game.
So moving on. So what else should we play this week?
I don't know. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. This is a game that we've been waiting for since the first one came out, for the most part.
Uncharted won my Game of the Year in 2007? 2008?
I think it was 2 years ago.
2007, yeah.
2007, yeah.
And it was just I had never seen a game like it before, and Uncharted 2 follows it up so well.
I just look at all the good things of Uncharted 1, right? They had amazing voice acting, great motion capture, so everything was really believable. All the platforming was fantastic.
Excellent, textures, voice animation.
So you look at it and you're like, okay, there's very few games on the PSP that come even close on a lot of those factors.
Yeah.
And how do you make it better? Seriously.
You make the world way bigger. I mean, it is very much hard to make it better, but they did. If you look at it feature-wise, they didn't add a single one. I don't remember if the hint system is.
Well, they added the co-op. So feature-wise, they did add the co-op, and they added multiplayer. So,
right.
But actually, to the core single-player stuff.
It is just,
the combat's very similar, isn't it?
It is. It's. I mean, it might feel a little bit tighter, but I mean, they found a recipe for just a perfect game, and what they did was they took the world, which I thought was huge already. The first one, it went all over the place. There's Nazi submarines, and there's caves and whatever, and they're just what? It's just blew it up. So you're just running through fucking cities and. Tanks are chasing you and helicopter battles.
You know what it feels like they did to me? They took all the core elements and you're right. They didn't change it that much for the most part, but fuck, they put it in a set piece that was so awesome that it blew you away. Because before, if you look at the set pieces, they were the submarine was pretty good, but that's kind of the top of that game for the most part. There's a couple of really good show stops, the Bad Temple, all that. But it's you look at when you're in a fucking building. Fighting all these guys, floors drop underneath you, but guys still keep coming. So you're shooting and holy shit, there's a couch coming at you.
The building is actually falling, and you're fighting as the floors are sliding. You're jumping
oh my god!
And one thing that the little things really blew me away too, where you notice you don't even realize it until you've been playing for 2 or 3 hours that there's no load screens.
Actually,
there was no load screens.
So I saw it once, and that shocked me. And it was only because I was reloading from a death.
Okay, yeah.
And even then, the thing is,
usually there's
usually when I'm doing this, it's you die, it fades to black, it fades up, and I'm look, I'm going to play it. So it's totally not frustrating. And the one time it happened, and I waited 15 seconds, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why am I waiting?
Come on, Naughty Dog.
But I mean, they will go from trains to villages to whatever, and what they do is they cover over a lot of loading with videos. But it's fluid, it's perfect. There'll be cutscene, and then you're playing, cutscene, then you're playing. There's never once a screen where you're just watching, loading. So the game is this constant, unbroken experience.
I know. You're absolutely correct. I mean, the only time it happens when I reload it, because I think it's probably the checkpoint is far, but they did such a good job with the checkpoint.
Yes. Yeah.
So granted, I can run into 2 crash bugs, which
is
surprised
weird.
the fuck out of me, right? Because one time I was carrying a propane tank and I went onto a ledge and I tried to throw it off the ledge, and all of a sudden
And it was just like locked up.
Sitting there. And another time I actually had to reboot the PS3. But the thing is, like, I reloaded it again. I lost a minute or two from the checkpoint. And I'm like, Naughty Dog, it's okay that you crash.
Yeah.
Normally I would fucking, I would kill.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like,
because, like, usually you're replaying half an hour of shit, right?
I know. And
like,
it didn't happen.
But, but the thing is in the first one, I actually remember people in the first Uncharted were saying that the combat was hard, and I didn't think it was. Like, I thought it was okay. Like, it was.
Yeah, it was abnormally
I loved it,
hard.
But it wasn't abnormally hard. This one is harder.
Yeah, I'll give you that. There's some
die
battles,
a lot.
The train, like I won't want to spoil away too much, but in the train there is a significant number of battles where I had to keep on trying and retrying. Yeah. It's difficult.
But the cool thing about that is, like you said, there's no penalty for this. Like, you are presented with this enormous battle. There's like 100 dudes, and there's all these different stages, whatever. But it's like when you die, you're immediately back to playing, and you're at the beginning of that battle, and you're just like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah,
I can fucking do this. And the thing is the battles are so intricate that literally every time I do a battle, my strategy is different. I'm like, I'm going to go along the rooftops. All right, that didn't work. I'm going to run behind this building. I'm going to toss a grenade. I'm going to go pick up this gun. Like, it's different every time until you find something that works.
I know, and there's so many different varieties you can do. The cover system is really good. Yeah. They usually have a lot of multiple levels, which is really interesting. So on the train, you can go on the roof. You can drop in. You can drop in on the side. Yeah. So they added the platforming element to combat, and they like the thing is, I don't think they meshed it very well in the first game, and it's not a complaint. I mean, they did a good job, but you weren't doing platforming and combat at the same time.
Not as
it's
much.
Almost like they integrated it so well in this one, where I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to go on top of this train, like maybe like you're in the snow, right? So I'm going to go on top of the train, wait till somebody comes, and then sneak behind them. And they added a much bigger stealth element.
The stealth is a lot bigger.
Huge.
Before it was very much just kind of combat, and now you're presented with this area where you can go around for a little bit. I mean, like, eventually it's going to turn into a gunfight.
Usually.
But eventually, I mean, like, you can go around the beginning and just crack some fucking necks, and the moves are so good. Yeah. Like, some guys walking by, you grab them and slam their face in the rock, like, oh, it's good.
Yeah, and the tutorial system is really good. They basically start you out, and it's just like all of a sudden, like, you start the game, and I'm not giving you that. You start the game, you're hanging from a fucking train. It's just like,
it has one of the most epic intros I've ever seen in a game.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, they're like, you just wake up.
Yeah.
Hanging from a train that's falling off a cliff.
Like, what happened? And they do a really good job storytelling, and then they take you to a place where you're actually doing a lot of the combat, the sneaking, and it's told tutorial. So well. It's not like, here's the startup thing, here's how you do all this stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's perfect. Seriously, this
really
game is one of the perfect things. And one other thing I wanted to mention, too, is just that you were talking about how little things.
Yes.
Did you notice, anytime they talked, they never repeated themselves?
No.
So, like, when you were going, you're climbing, you're doing something, they, have the grunts, and have all this other stuff, but he'd be saying something like...
Little wise comments.
Yeah, little wise comments. It always is in context to what you're doing. So you have climbed something a couple of times, and it's like, I'm fucking sick of climbing shit.
Yeah.
Or, like, you're fighting people, like somebody who says, there's somebody above you.
Yeah.
Right? And then, I don't know if this is a joke. I was talking to a friend of mine who said, did you remember that joke where there's somebody above you, there's somebody below you?
Yeah, that was a joke. That was a built-in joke. So, I mean, like, but they...
Like that kind of stuff. And they never repeat. Like, you get that tedium or the fatigue after a while.
Well, somebody will say the same 5 wise-ass comments over and over again.
Exactly.
This one, you are playing with Elena and Chloe. Elena and Chloe, like, the cool thing is sometimes it's relevant to what you're doing. Like, sometimes you'll be climbing up and they're like, watch out over there, oh, be careful, blah, blah, blah. Or sometimes they'll just be like, just talking shit. Like, one time I just hopped in the water for no reason. She's like, I can't believe you actually jumped in that water. And he's like, yeah, come on in. She's like, oh, you don't want to see, or like, you just want to see me in a wet t-shirt or something. It just happens, like, in the context of the game, so it's not, you don't ever feel like you're listening to recorded segments.
No. And it's scripted behind the scenes. It's scripted because he did that, but the thing is, it doesn't feel scripted.
Yeah.
And there's so many different things that they added to it. You're climbing something, you're doing all that. And the other cool thing, which I like they did about this game, is that they made it much less solitary.
Yeah.
Before, you were Nathan Drake doing shit, and every once in a while you'd have somebody with you. But for the most part, like, almost a lot of the game, you have somebody with you.
And the cool thing is unlike almost any game on the market, the person with you kills people. They actually fucking kill people.
It's true.
Like, how many times you play a game where they're just like unloading clips on people and you have to kill every person on that screen? Like, you can actually sit there and Chloe will actually like circle around. They'll cap people. Like, they'll fight. Like, you're running and they'll kill a sniper that's coming at you. I mean, like, they are intelligent AI that do shit.
And it doesn't ruin it. It's just like, it's because I know they
can't die.
Well, they can't die.
awesome.
But some of the developers do that because they know that if they let the AI do it, they would be too good, and the behavior will be like whatever. But I never felt that. Like I was killing a ton of dudes too. So I have a feeling they almost tuned it so that there were certain people that were coming that
you have to kill.
They have to kill. You know that kind of stuff. It's just perfect.
And you know the details. Like there were just several moments where I was playing. I mean, for one thing, the look. Like it's the most beautiful game probably I've ever played in my life.
It's
but
definitely.
But there's little things like I was fighting and there's two dudes running and like they're hiding behind shit, and I shot this one guy as he was throwing a grenade at me. So he falls over dead. The grenade falls. The other dude turns and looks. He's like, "Oh shit!" and starts running and dives, and it blows up. I mean, like they're actually like it's not just the characters talking to you. The AIs, they're like, "Flush them out. Go left over there." "Oh shit! I can't believe you dropped that grenade at my feet."
And they all kind of go over here. They bunch up.
They flank you. They will whoop your ass if you're not careful. Like every battle, the AI moves differently.
I'm worried because I'm playing on normal, I think it is, but like hard. Can you imagine how difficult some of those things would be?
So like hold Nathan Drake down and violate his bunghole.
Yeah, and people that do that, you know, you'll get all the platinum, you know, achievements and do all that other cool stuff.
That's right.
But like, you know, and just so you're talking about the look, dude. This is one of the few games where I'm in the middle of playing and like I'm doing some platform, I'm doing some stuff. All of a sudden, I see this vista.
Yeah.
I sit there literally for a minute and I'm
stop and look.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
Like there's this one part where you get to a village in the mountains and you're just kind of walking through the village, and the thing is you're supposed to just follow the guide and go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was just wandering around. I was like walking up through the paths. I was looking out over the cliff, and there's like two dudes just looking out over the view. You can walk up and stand next to them.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like looking down over these mountains and a river and stuff, and you're just like,
this is pretty nice.
I don't have to play anymore. I can just sit back, take a glass of wine, look out over the vista. You can play kickball with kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's kids and they'll kick you a ball.
What do? You just hit a button?
Kick it back. Yeah, it's just
you can pet llamas. You can. There's a bunch of stuff. But like one of the things where all actually fucked me was like when you're on the train, you're going through this area that is so amazingly detailed.
Yeah.
That I actually like would sit and be like, huh.
That's really cool.
That's really cool. All of a sudden, like somebody would blow up the train, and then my car would like fall off, and I'm like, "Game over, yes sir." I'm like, "Oh, it was worth it."
Yeah, you're like, you tricked me by making the game too pretty. Damn it. So
can you think of anything to complain about this game?
Nothing. Like the only there's literally one complaint I've ever had the entire time I'm playing, which is that sometimes grenades don't go where I want them to go. Where it's just like
they always go narrow.
But I mean, like the arc will show them going over a box, and I'll toss them, and they'll hit the front of the box instead. Like they'll,
the ricochet, yeah.
But whatever. I mean, like that can just be tacked up to. They might even just put variety in the throws so that it doesn't go perfect wherever you throw it every time.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, no, I have no complaints about this game. It is an absolute perfect gaming experience.
It is perfect. If we gave numbers, it would absolutely be a perfect 10. But
instead, we don't. We give double thumbs up. You need to go buy this game if you have a PS3.
It is and if you don't have a PS3, this is a pretty damn good reason to get one, especially with God of War coming out pretty soon.
God of War, Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted 2,
price drop.
I mean, like
there's no question at this point.
Yeah, these things sell the PS3. So I mean, like and you actually made the comment to me. You said we were talking before, and you said if every developer made games like this for the PS3, the Xbox would be out of the market. I mean, the PS3 would be just walking on its nuts.
You look at some of the games. There's a few games out there. Killzone is up there, where it's just looking absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously, this one, God of War, is going to be up there. But all these games are using the PS3 capability, and everybody knows the PS3 capability is better.
It's better,
it's just
right.
more
it's a
computing
stronger
power,
piece of hardware.
Stronger piece of hardware. They're using it now.
Yeah.
So, like, if everybody does it in 360, you'd be like, what do you do?
Yeah, you release the 720, right? I mean, like, but the thing is they can be confident that most developers don't have that kind of patience. Most developers will do things like release a game for all the consoles, and it's good enough on all of them. I mean,
That's true.
No, I mean, you look at things like Batman: Arkham Asylum, and I played that on the 360. It looked fucking awesome. You can do some cool shit on the 360 hardware.
And you know what the thing is too. You look at play on the PS3, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you want to know why? Because all the developers, they code to the lowest common denominator.
To both, right?
So it's just like you can only get the Naughty Dogs, right? You know,
the PS3 exclusives are the ones that are just going to absolutely shine.
I know. So Ratchet and Clank should be coming out. That's going to be an awesome one. The thing is, we didn't even play like the co-op or the thing. It's just like that's just going to be like, you know, whipped cream and a cherry on top of this.
It came out on Tuesday, and we made the decision to review it on Thursday for you guys because we knew you'd want to hear the review. We haven't played the co-op yet because, seriously, we're just chewing through the single play. Like, I'm playing nothing else. I have a stack. I have Brutal Legend.
Unwrapped!
Unopened.
So I actually played a little bit.
Yeah.
I went back to Uncharted.
Ooh.
Full review. Full review next week.
Full review next week. So,
but yeah, it is that good.
So I mean, it
doesn't even matter.
It has put the rest of my gaming life on hold. So I mean, we'll play the co-op and stuff once we both beat the game, because otherwise we don't have any.
And it doesn't need it for the most part. Thumbs up. Buy right now. Get it.
Oh my god.
Top 3, if not top 5, definitely top 3. Very like for me.
Yeah.
Probably. It's me top 1. You think?
I'm thinking that this is going to be a PS3 heavy year for my game of the year list.
Bullshit.
Think about it. Look what's coming out.
Uncharted, Ratchet, and something.
God of War.
No, that's coming out next year.
Oh, that's next year. That's true. So we'll see.
You know what'd be funny is you put fucking the God of War collection.
I really enjoyed replaying God of War 2. Thanks, guys.
Nobody can call us Sony fanboys ever again.
So let's move to a direction that is the exact opposite of awesome.
No, it's not the exact opposite of awesome. So this is a PSP game. This is a game that came out a while ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, yeah, but it's been in Japan forever, and everybody's been talking about it. But it's been a very niche game, right? Yeah. So it's called Holy Invasion of Privacy Badman. What did I do to deserve this? Worst game ever. Worst game title ever.
Worst game ever, I agree. That sounds about right.
So what didn't you like about it before I go into...
Fucking sucks. That's what I don't like about it. This game fucking sucks.
Why did you think it fucking sucked?
Because... Oh my god, there's nothing... I couldn't find any fun in it. I was, like, on a fun expedition. I put on my little, like, fun spelunking hat.
Did you
have
your fun axe?
I did. I had the fun axe, and I was hitting all the bricks, and all that was coming out was goo.
But that was the fun. Don't you understand?
So... It's basically like somebody took like that old Game of Life where you basically just watch random shit happening on the screen.
There is some elements of that.
And then tried to make a fun game out of it where you're like having people explore this dungeon where you're randomly letting fucking slimes and stuff wander around.
Let's talk about the game a little bit real quickly. It is. Some people say it's a tower defense game. I disagree strongly. Okay. I see there's tower defense elements, but for the most part, I see it as almost like an RTS, except you do not control very well what you create. Indirectly. You do it...
Not at all!
No, you did it because this is where the appeal of the game to me lies.
Yeah.
How do you control it? So, like I think what Tobin is saying, right? Basically, it's a bunch of bricks.
Yeah.
Some have little green bits, which is resources. Some don't. Right. You hit them, and a slime comes out.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Basically, you do that, and then you need to coax the slimes.
Right, life systems evolve out of those slimes. So then the slimes turn into bugs, the bugs turn into... Or the slimes turn into plants.
But here's the thing, there's a trick to the slimes.
Yes.
When you make them, you have to make the structure that they're following, pick up resources and deposit them in a certain area, so that when you click on it, it turns into an ant.
Yes.
And then, if actually you wait long enough, you click on it, it turns into a lizard man. And then you have these other... You get this magic, and if you have magic...
Go ahead.
If there's the magic element, exact same thing, little sprites and all this. But anyway, you're basically building an ecology because things eat each other, they multiply based off that. You have to do that because after about a minute or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on the stage,
the soldiers come, the warriors come.
The adventurers come and go after your bad man.
Right.
So that's where the strategy lies. No?
Not at all.
Because this thing.
Okay, so tell me what you like. So you enjoyed taking the level and like trying to finesse the slimes into doing what you wanted, like building an ecosystem.
You know what I like about this game?
Looking forward to Africa.
Yeah. No, I like it because the game is so fucking hard. I have not been finished. I think I've been the 3rd level once, and I've been trying to get to the 4th level, and I have not been able to go.
Yeah.
So there's tons of levels, right? And basically, it's because it's so god-awful hard to coax them, and then what they do is they have the story mode where you do that. And again, I'm on the 4th level, and I played a lot.
Yeah.
They have a training mode where each one of them teaches you a mechanism.
Right.
So one of them is here's how you do the slimes, here's how you make lizard men, here's how you do all this stuff. And it's almost this weird thing where I'm learning something new, applying it so I can get a little bit further in my game. So it's this weird, because that's the thing about games for me. Games are for me about figuring out how to solve a problem, kind of minuscule in very small, intricate amounts.
Right.
As long as you have a nice way to teach me how to do it, and then you throw me into the river
and let you
experiment. I'm like, holy shit, I'm dying. It's just like I get off on that.
Yeah.
It's really neat, and that's why I think that this Demon Souls game will be interesting because everybody says it's.
Everybody says it's like
torture?
Basically designed as punishment. Like it's just like you did something wrong in this life, and you have to play Demon Souls,
and you have to start all the way over every single time.
Yeah.
So I think I might like it because of this, and it's a very simple concept. So again, I'm saying that this is a niche game. So don't go out and buy it.
Exactly, I agree. Don't go out and buy it.
Rent it if you think those sorts of games will appeal to you, because it's not going to appeal to very many people. But dude, those that appeal to...
Do you think maybe people that like really like SimCity maybe?
That's what I'm saying,
Okay,
yeah.
like kind of if you really like fine-tuning the tax rates to watch these. I mean, like if
like
you really just want to like just get into an ecology and tune little knobs and shit.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly it because it reminds me very much of Sim Ant. Do you remember Sim Ant?
Yeah.
So you kind of do that, or like Sim Earth, where you're like tweaking, so you don't get global warming. You're planting trees.
Right.
But it's very indirect. I can see where your gameplay style.
Fat Al Gore comes out and yells at you. Why have you done this? We're running out of food. I'm so scared with my fat belly.
Yeah. So anyhow, I think it's a thumbs up rental. Tobin is not Tobin's
this game in its ass. Is my opinion on that.
Okay.
So next up, Dead Space Extraction.
Yeah, Dead Space Extraction. So this is the game that we kind of shit all over because we played about 5-10 minutes at PAX. And we played one of the challenge levels, not the story levels.
It was anus.
It kind of sucked.
Yeah. So we shit all over it. We told everybody it's not going to be good.
Then we tried it.
And then we tried it. And it is a very, very different experience than what we played at PAX. Very, very, very different.
The story mode, particularly.
Yes.
So the story mode, you're going. I guess the background is takes place before Dead Space.
Right.
When they find the marker. Hopefully, I'm not spoiling anything. You find the marker, and then shit starts to break out.
Shit goes wrong. Shit gets real.
Yes.
Son, is what happens.
And it's on rails shooter. So you're going. You're shooting aliens. You're doing all sorts of stuff.
It is really on rails though, like because some on rails shooters, the screen is fixed and you're like moving forward and moving back. So it's like you think about Time Crisis.
Yeah.
Time Crisis, you move to a place and there's a fixed screen and then you go boom, 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 boom. Move to another place, boom, 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 boom. This one, you are in a fixed first-person perspective. You are moving when the head moves. But
not always. You do have control. Very small amounts of time. You would stop, and all of a sudden you see the arrows, and you can actually
move a little
but
bit.
We're talking like 5% of the game.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely correct.
Generally speaking, it's like being John Malkovich. Like you're trapped through the viewpoint of John Malkovich, and you're walking around shooting aliens.
Malkovich. Yeah.
Which I think so that is kind of my only complaint with the game.
So what didn't you like about that?
So. It felt to me like it would have been an awesome first-person shooter had I been like steering with my left hand and shooting with my right. And
so you'd be looking at different directions.
Exactly. So the thing is
a lot of the components wouldn't work then.
You don't think?
Well, no, because if you think about it, right, a lot of the components of each level is that you would glance at something very quickly and say, like, oh, shit, there's some ammo there, and ammo is really scarce, right? So you'd have to click it to pick it up.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, the whole idea behind the game is then you replay. Do you remember, like, all those old shooting games in the arcades?
Yeah,
like Revolution X, like
Time Crisis.
No, but Time Crisis didn't move your head that much.
Oh, okay.
All those other games, like Area 51 and all that, that's exactly what happens. It'd be like, ooh, and what you do is you're playing and replaying so that you capture all of the elements. Dude, there'd be like upgrades. Yeah. You would glance at an upgrade and if you didn't get that upgrade, you're
screwed. Yeah, you never get it.
So I can understand the idea behind it. I can understand how it's frustrating, but for me, I kind of after a while I got into it. And you know what really sold me on this game?
What's that?
The whole package. It's just like visceral.
The polish.
It looks amazing for a Wii game.
Yeah, and it's cinematically very well done. I mean, like the thing, it's a story, and they're actually taking you through different characters having different experiences as this adventure unfolds. I mean, I have to give them mad props for that. Where it's just like, even though the controls and the interface were frustrating me. It was one of those things where I'm like, fuck, this is Dead Space. Like, I didn't think that they were going to be able to get to do that right. Like, I didn't think they were going to pull it off.
And they did.
They did. It's not scary like Dead Space.
And that's my big complaint. Like, okay, like, if you're going to be Dead Space, you got to be scary. And the fact that I'm on rails, like, it takes away all the fear.
It's not scary. Yeah, because because what was so scary about Dead Space is you're in control. Absolutely. And you know, when you walk through that door, there are 7 big fucking vagina monsters that want to tear you from limb to limb, and you're the one that decides to go through the door, right? You're the one that's pushing that thing forward.
Creeping, crawling, you're doing all that.
And you can run away whenever you want. So you're just like it's like in real life. Like, you can get away from this scary situation. And this, you're just like, you're on the roller coaster. You know
what it is? Like, the analogy that I can think of is, like, you could be on Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, and that's not scary at all, right? It's just taking you through shit. But if you go into a haunted house style thing where you're walking around and people are like, wah! Right? That's scary.
Yeah, because you're the one deciding. You're the one
and
deciding.
That's the key difference. But I don't think being scary, not being scary, takes away from the overall game experience.
Yeah.
I think some of what you're talking about takes away a little bit, depending on how much control you want.
Yeah.
But dude, that is a pretty good Wii shooter.
It is a pretty good Wii shooter. I mean, I'll give it that.
Best I've played so far.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the Resident Evil one.
Yes, but I don't know if it'll be better than Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles.
Yeah,
it's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Right, I haven't played that
because I've played it, and
you said it's really good.
It's close.
Yeah. Well, when you do a full playthrough, we'll be able to decide. I mean, the thing is, for me, the reason why I would say that this is a rental more than a buy for me is that there was a lot of times where I understand the cinematic. I understand the reason why you have to do the fixed person thing, but there were several times where instead of having a good time with it, things would be happening where his head was moving. I'm like, just fucking stay still. Like, instead of having it, like, getting, like, rolling with it, I just felt like I was fighting. Like, I was just like, stop shaking your head. I just want to kill that monster. You know, like, stop moving. So
I agree.
It's way, 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 way better than we thought it would be.
Yeah. Like, we thought it was going to suck and stay away from it. But now, absolutely rental. I would say if you like Wii shooters, then definitely buy it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're obsessive enough to play through it 20 times, you might as well buy it, right?
Yeah, I guess it's going to be pretty short. I mean, I've put 3 or 4 hours in I'm like a quarter to halfway.
Right. I'm going to play through this game exactly once. I'm going to beat it because it is cool.
It's
very
soon,
cool.
Dude.
But I mean, like, I plan on eventually beating it. And that makes it, I mean, like, I'm never going to play it again. I know I'm never, ever, ever going to play it again.
You're never going to play like some of those other ones, like the Resident Evil one, a bunch of them. So
which is why I say rental.
Yeah, rental. Okay, cool.
So next up was Pixeljunk Monsters.
Yeah, so did you play the PS3 one? Because we reviewed it a long time ago.
I never did.
So we reviewed it a long time ago, and basically what I said was, dude, it's like it's a tower defense.
Yep.
I don't remember.
I was just like, nobody cares. I hate tower defense.
I do too, generally speaking, if it's a standard tower defense, but I've played Plants vs. Zombies, which is an excellent game, and everybody needs to play.
I loved Plants vs. Zombies. Loved it.
Pixeljunk Monster gives you the control. It makes it so that it's no longer a shitty... and it's on PSP as well, which I think is a perfect platform.
It feels great on the PSP. It feels really nice.
So what did you like about it, coming new to it? Because, I mean, we can talk about the old stuff.
What I really like about it is that they're kind of doing this new... So the thing that I just despise about tower defense games is that you go and you line up a bunch of shit and then you hit play. And it's blah, 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 and you're just like, you can either fast forward, you can just watch it, whatever. And this is more of you fine-tuning an environment while the game happens.
Yes.
You're out there, and you're building shit, and then you're like, deciding which towers to upgrade by which ones you stand in front of.
To dance.
So we should talk about, so what is the game mechanics?
Okay, so the game mechanics is you have trees and a bunch of things, and obviously the same tower defense, you have bad guys coming to get your guys.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's a whole bunch of trees, you can turn the trees into towers.
Yeah.
And there's like 9 different types of towers?
Yeah, something like that. And then you can, like, ice tower, aerial tower, cannon tower, arrow tower.
And there's a collectible aspect of it where each one costs money,
Yeah.
and you kill guys to get money as well as gems. How do the gems work?
And the gems let you unlock new towers, or you can just blow your gems. You can just blow your gem wad by...
Is that what you did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I saved my gem wad.
I blew this guy named Jim Wad. No, I'm just kidding. So you can go over to each tower and then just spend a gem, and instead of having to so the thing is you can dance.
Yes.
Basically, if you
that's
stand,
all it takes.
if you it is. It's just it makes you not get bored.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing with Plants vs. Zombies, where you're picking up the sunlight.
Yep.
This one. At any time when you're not building stuff, you go stand in front of a tower, the dude starts dancing, and it makes the tower stronger.
Yep, and it gets like a little flag comes up. It starts out green, then yellow, then red and purple, like all these different colors.
So you can either stand there in front of the tower and dance for 30 seconds, and it upgrades the tower, or you can just spend your gems, and it upgrades the towers.
Yes.
And it'll be like aerial enemies, ground enemies, strong enemies.
And you can see them come, just like with tower defense, you can see which ones are coming next.
Yeah, so you can build up in advance.
And I think that's the thing. So with tower defense games, if you're going to do it right, you have to offer, like, during real time, a bunch of different options that you can do. So I'm making a choice between dancing in front of a thing, using gems, picking up money in gems after monsters, or upgrading things all in real time. And that's all it takes. And it's just like, wow, this is a really fun game.
Yeah, so it just keeps you, every second of the game, you're doing something. You're never, like, building and waiting. You're never, I mean, what was that god-awful tower game that we just played?
It's the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, My Life is a Dark Lord. Oh, that was terrible.
It's the epitome of what I hate about those games. You go and you build a bunch of shit, and then dudes go through, and you're just like, wow, that sucks, I just lost.
Just because you can get Cloud or anything like that didn't matter?
Doesn't help me. Does not help me. So I would say in my pantheon of tower defense games that I don't hate, it's still Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Plants vs. Zombies.
It's close, though.
It's close. It's good. It's
especially
good.
the fact it's portable.
Yeah, the portable is really nice because then you're not stuck at your computer. There's no portable Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah, so if you don't have a PSP, also get it on PSN today. The Pixeljunk guys, the guys that they've done a lot of stuff. We didn't like Eden that much.
We did not at all.
At all. But we did play Pixeljunk Shooter,
and that's fun. Pixeljunk Shooter is the shit we reviewed that last week.
Yeah, we talked about last week. So so check it out. These guys are awesome. Q Games.
Very good. Buy that.
Yes,
I would say buy that because PSP games are cheaper.
Cheap.
So last one up is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, which I did not get a chance to play.
Yeah, so it's too bad. So the whole idea behind Marvel Ultimate Alliance, if the first game was that you are playing as a bunch of Marvel characters, and it's your standard brawler.
Yeah.
So you're going through a level, and you have a bunch of bad guys, and you're beating them up.
Right.
But one of the awesome things about it is, like, I think 3 or 4 player co-op, I forget how many people, but you can pick all of the cool Marvel characters. Oh. You read the comics, right?
Oh,
yeah.
I read Marvel comic. Like, I went to Comic-Con every year in San Diego. I got all the X-Men, all the whatever.
Oh, dude, there are so many characters.
There are a lot of characters.
So, but they're in the game. And the thing is, each one has its own moveset.
Yeah.
So, you're playing, it's just like, oh, I want to play Wolverine, oh, I want to play Gambit, oh, I want to play Juggernaut, oh, I want to play all this. Like, you can play each one of the Fantastic Four, and they all
Can you swap, like, in the middle of gameplay, or saying, like, each level? Or
well, the whole cool thing is when you're playing single player, you have 4, and the 3 are controlled by AI,
and you can pop between
You can pop between, you can control one of them.
Nice.
Or you can play it together.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, it's a brawler, it's very simplistic, it's
so
not...
it's like TMNT, like, is it kind of like the old Ninja Turtles?
No, it's top-down.
Okay.
So it's top-down isometrically a little bit. But the best thing about this, it's just so much pure, unadulterated fun. Because you're going around playing with 3 of your friends, drinking beers or whatever, juice. And then, and then you're going, and then they have this RPG element on top where every character you play gets experience as you fight, and you unlock more powers.
Nice.
So think about it. You have 30, I don't know how many characters, you have 30 or 40, a bunch of characters. You can play through the entire campaign multiple
level
times.
Up your dude. And each time you get, so I mean, like you could be playing with your friends where you've got this guy that you've played a bunch of times before, so now your Wolverine is level 17.
And he's badass. So you bring him and help out, and you maybe play on a really legendary,
so you can twink Rogue.
Basically, yeah. I don't know if I use twink and rogue in the same sense, but sure.
I'd like to twink Rogue.
Oh yeah.
So,
but if you touch her,
I know, I'd lose all my powers. I'd lose all my powers.
If you're getting so geeky.
Yeah, it's just
but if you don't have the superpower, you actually die. Don't you understand?
So it's like I would touch Rogue and she would become impotent.
Basically, your superpower would be.
That's not a superpower, no matter how much I tell my wife.
So anyhow, this game only the thing is I liked it.
So did you play this with other dudes?
That's the thing. I didn't get a chance to. So I got up a little bit before we went to Japan. Did some stuff, but I want to. Yeah. So I want to go play.
So are there other NooBTooBers that are hopping on,
tons.
Getting some?
I've been looking at the Twitter feed and people are playing just like, oh yeah, just like unlock Juggernaut, doing all this other stuff. So if you have a bunch of friends, this game is a buy. Otherwise, if you're only playing single player, rent it.
Okay.
Because you play through it, it's kind of, but it's not the same.
It needs the people.
Yeah, and I see the potential.
The RPG leveling up stuff is nice. Like that makes it really intriguing to me. If only my plate wasn't so full.
I know.
It's just like I'm like mentally queuing these things up. I'm like, wow, I should really check that out in January.
I don't know about January either, dude. Everything's getting pushed to next year.
We'll see.
So this is a pretty awesome game.
Saying,
buy if you have friends with it.
That's so sad when you say that.
If you have friends, then maybe buy it. But rent it, check it out. It's going to be one of those things. And I'm in the same boat as you are. Like Ratchet's coming out.
Yeah.
Borderlands is coming out.
I mean, God of War 2.5. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Isn't it 1.5?
Something like that. Yeah. So speaking of Borderlands, so that's the games we've been playing. So this new releases we have. First up is Borderlands.
So there's a lot of mixed commentary.
It looks like God of War.
Wait,
isn't that the one I was talking about?
No, you're thinking of Dante's Inferno.
No, there was
Borderlands is the one where you're
like climbing on the ceiling and like it looked like God of War.
Yeah,
like
that's Dante's Inferno. Okay. So anyhow, Borderlands.
Which one is Borderlands?
So Borderlands is the one where it's kind of like post-apocalyptic, and you have like choices of like 5 different types of. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So Borderlands is done by I forget who. I think Gearbox, something like that.
And this was the one with the big bull.
Oh, that was Darksiders.
Darksiders was the one that looked like God of War. That's what I was thinking of. Darksiders. Sorry.
Okay,
all right.
I can see that.
Borderlands. I don't know shit about it.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Okay, Borderlands. So Borderlands is kind of post-apocalyptic, but the idea is you can kind of like build your own weapons. Is my understanding. So the number of weapons possible if you do all the customization is millions of different types of weapons.
Yeah.
There's some sort of RPG element, but it's a third or first person shooter. I have to double check.
Okay.
But it's a shooter. So it's interesting. But some people said it demoed really poorly, but they see the impressiveness. Other people said I love this game.
Okay.
So
do you go back in time with laser rifles and fight Custer?
If they did, I would give it a thumbs down.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm going to rent it because there's enough mixed,
back and forth. Yeah,
but mixed before. I wouldn't say by.
So this was one of those ones where we were walking around the NooBToobers at PAX, and everyone was like, "I hate it, I love it, I hate it, I love it." Okay.
That was the one. Darksiders people were just like, "That looks like God of War."
Yeah,
I think one person said they loved it, so just like,
okay,
we'll see.
all right. I will definitely rent Borderlands then. So next up, Forza Motorsport 3. So I'm going to go ahead and make a sandwich while you talk about a racing game that doesn't have guns in it. How about that?
So go ahead. So Forza Motorsport 3 is it's a competition for Gran Turismo.
Dear Diary, today I was.
It is a racing game. It's one of the premier racing games. I'll rent it some week.
Yeah, not next week.
No, not with these fucking games coming out. No, I'm going to be pulling my hair out for the next game. So it's a racing game. It's a lot of people love it. Yeah. I think they do a really good job at it, but it doesn't excite me. But I always just check it out. Yeah, I tried Dirt 2 too. So
yeah.
And I'm going to try Gran Turismo on the PSP. We'll see if I actually get to review it, but I'll give it a try.
So one game that's not on our list of new releases is Brutal Legend. So it's not technically coming out next week, but we're playing it we will review Brutal Legend next week. What?
I'm just saying. I'm not going to give any sneak previews.
I haven't opened the box yet, sitting unopened.
I'm just
saying.
I
just want to let you guys know we're not forgetting it.
Yeah.
It's just that we've got it, and we didn't have time to play it this week. We're playing it next week.
Yeah, it's going to be one of our big games.
It came out 2 days ago. Yeah. Have some patience.
Yeah, please.
We've been playing Uncharted.
Please. Yeah. And I played about an hour. So
So next up is Demon's Souls. This has gotten more buzz than any game I can think of in the most recent history.
And what's weird was just it's all buzz external, right? Like not even I don't even think the game reviewers have been all over the game.
Not so much.
But it's all kind of like NooBToobers, a bunch of random
YouTubers.
YouTubers,
yeah.
All these different guys. I've been seeing all this stuff, and I'm like, why? And then I went to Blockbuster. I went to all these different places. I went to GameStop, and I'm like, do you guys have Demon's Souls? They're like, yeah, no, we're out. So I can't find it anywhere, and I'm like,
you can't rent it or buy it.
No. So I'm like, and then
it's like a sleeper,
and that's what piqued my interest. And I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
So not only are people talking about it, but you can't get it anywhere. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see if this is what it's all cracked to be. So I had to order it off Amazon, so I'm actually still waiting for it.
So the deal with it is, when everybody started talking about it, I went and took a look at videos.
Yeah.
And to
me,
it's
an action RPG, right?
It's an action RPG. It kind of like. There's something about it that kind of looks like Oblivion to me, where there's a lot of kind of, there's a little menu here where you can equip different items and weapons and stuff, and you're basically just kind of walking around the world, and you're actually like doing the mechanics of swing to attack, healing potion, do an item,
but
whatever.
But a little slower. It's not like a God of War type.
No, it's kind of measured pace.
Sure.
But. So I was actually kind of surprised at everyone's just like, it's the best game ever. I've been having such a good time. It's the hardest thing I've ever played in my whole fucking life. It's punishing. It makes me want to kill myself.
It is like torture is some of the quotes. And I'm like, why are people still playing this game?
And I watched the videos, and it's nothing to write home about in terms of graphics. But people are saying that the experience is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think they say a big part of it, and like I actually drilled down into some people. I'm like, why do you love it so much? And they're like, well, it's the fact that every time you die, you don't feel it's cheap. You always learn something different.
Okay.
So there's kind of that element of learning. Granted, you start over, so you lose potentially minutes, hours of work. But every time, I have no idea.
But apparently you lose a lot. Apparently it's painful when you die.
It's very painful. You can get to the boss and die. Get to the boss, and sometimes they're unfair.
Yeah.
You'll go across a bridge or something like that, and it'll just go away, and you're like, oh, I better remember.
It's like Dragon Slayer.
I'm just saying.
God damn it!
This is a game
Stop throwing me in the lava!
It will make you break your controller. But they say every single time you learn something, every time you finally beat a boss, it feels so good.
So you die, and then the star goes above your head, and it's like, the more you know.
That feels so good. And the other cool thing, they added some really interesting elements that I've seen very, very few times in video games.
Yeah.
Other people playing the game online can leave notes. Not your friends list, just randomly. You can walk and you can see a little message. You read it, and it can be a hint on how to go. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So, and when you die, you can leave a hint. You just like.
Okay, that's actually
so
really,
there's this
really
weird
cool.
offline component where and I think you can see I don't remember about the glowing orbs. There's this other element, and you can actually team up, and you can do stuff co-op too. But I think if I read the article right, again, I could be totally wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. But
oh, they'll correct you if you're wrong. Don't worry about that.
I think I remember reading something to the effect of that's very hard to actually play with your friends. It's almost like you see somebody, you yank them in, and they're just somebody random. So some parts are so hard that you do that, and it's almost this weird camaraderie aspect.
Okay.
Isn't this intriguing?
It is intriguing.
So that's why I want to try it, even though
it all remains to be seen whether the intriguing outweighs the punishing.
Well, I'll play it.
Because I hate games that are pointlessly punishing, where it's like, you killed me for no reason. You just like took 10 minutes of my life for no reason. So we'll see. But we've gotten so much feedback from people that we're going to try this. We're definitely going to try this.
And it happens. A lot of times we'll say like, oh, we'll skip past this game. Like when enough people say it's pretty good, we're going
to go back and play. Speaking of, so the guy who turned me on to Half Minute Hero was Locke.
Oh, really?
So Locke was like,
did he play it, or is he just...
No, he hasn't played it yet, but Locke was like, dude, no matter what you're doing right now, click on this link and watch this 20-minute video walkthrough. So I forget what site it was. Giant Bomb. Giant Bomb did a 20-minute walkthrough of Half Minute Hero. And I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. I sent you the link to the 20-minute walkthrough.
I saw it, I'm just like, wow.
What the fuck? I think that's the first response, because the game is a old school RPG.
Even graphics.
Like it looks
sprites.
like Final Fantasy 1 or Dragon Quest 1.
Mm-hmm. Up 1 through 4, probably up to that point.
But you have to beat the game in 30 seconds.
Oh, each game, because every game is a quest.
Every quest is considered an RPG, an entire beginning to end with end credits and shit. It's a full RPG in 30 seconds.
And like one of them would be like, free what was it, like free the guys from the castle?
Yeah,
like
it was like wood lumberjacks. Or something.
Like get the lumberjack. Oh no, build a bridge.
Build a bridge.
That's
so you're running, and you're like, seriously, a timer is like 30, 29, 28, and you're running, and there's a random battle, and you push forward. There's no attack buttons. There's no anything. You just run forward, and it's like kill, level up.
Then your damage goes down.
Level up, and then you like run to a village, and time stops. And you're like, okay, I've got enough money to pray at the shrine
to get more time.
And I mean, it's just like, it looks fucking crazy. And there's a bunch of different modes. There's like hero mode, evil mode, fucking princess mode, and there's like unlockable modes.
Yep.
But the whole thing always centers around a 30-second game.
Yeah, and when you finish that, you're like, okay, Half Minute Hero 2 is a new quest with another 30 seconds.
100 years later, Half Minute Hero 2. So it looks like it's just done so tongue-in-cheek and with reverence to the old games, but like just weird.
It's pretty much us. It's a game written directly at the core of like 30-something people who played Dragon, and also obviously the younger kids who've like gone retro. But it's like it's totally.
It's like, hey, you want to play Final Fantasy 13? Hey, you in a hurry? You don't have the 100 hours it would take to go beat this game? How about 30 seconds?
It's 30 seconds. It's so perfect for the PSP because I can just go whoop, and I can just do it on the bus. I can just do something really quick. Yeah. And I love the fact that they're doing that. So.
Yeah. So we are absolutely getting this game like this week.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, and one other quick thing, if you guys are interested, the demos are on PSN.
Yes.
So you can download them to your PSP. There's 2 different demos. Go check it out if you're just curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check out the demo and go to check out the 20-minute walkthrough on Giant Bomb. Very cool.
Very good.
Last up, Boy and His Blob. We're so this is such a blast from the past.
I remember this game being really hard.
Very hard.
Like,
it was like
really hard.
like Rygar hard.
Like you didn't get enough beans to do various things.
No, it was very frustrating.
What's the concept? So you have a blob.
The concept was there's a boy, bunch of jelly beans, and his alien blob, and you toss the jelly bean to the blob, and something happens. The blob turns into a gun, or the blob turns into a ladder.
Yep,
blob turns into a trampoline, and that's how you beat the game. That's how you navigate the levels. Is you need these little collectible beans, and then you need to make the blob do something. And this game just on the NES, it ate your face.
Oh, I know. It was so hard.
So I remember spending like afternoons and afternoons with my buddies, and they would be like sitting around, be like flipping through Nintendo Power.
Oh, you had to have Nintendo Power to get through some of the
picking
levels.
Up all these jelly beans. You would go and toss the wrong jelly bean, and you only had one of them.
You'd
and
be
then
like,
fucked. Fuck! You have to like restart the goddamn game because NES hated you. The NES was so mean.
I know, and it's just like, so now they've totally revamped it.
Redone the whole
thing. They made it. It's still the same concept. You have every blob. You're still doing a platforming element. You're feeding it beans. My understanding is now you're unlimited beans in very cases. So they took a lot of that out.
Okay.
A lot of that aspect out. We had to manage your inventory of beans.
It's more modern.
A little more modern. Super cute.
Yeah.
There's a hug button.
I didn't hear about that.
You hit a button, and you're like, oh, and he makes this little sound. It's just like it's the cutest.
It doesn't do anything.
You become more friends with your blob, and you get the nice little sound. But anyhow, it's a hug button. It's just like that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
And anyhow, but my understanding. So I read a little bit about it. Some of the complaints that I've been hearing so far is that it's too easy. Apparently, what they say is they have these hint signs that tell you what to do.
So, do you think you can not read the sign? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if you walk past it happens, but apparently he was pissed off because it's like, I don't want the hint.
I want to figure out the fucking game.
Yeah.
It's like otherwise you could read a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
It's
the whole point of playing games is solving the problem. So we will review this.
Yeah.
It was such a blast from the past. It looks really pretty. Gameplay will next week. We'll let you guys know.
You know, that's interesting. You know, we didn't even talk about the hint system in Uncharted.
Hint system in Uncharted is the shit.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So they let you be stuck. So I mean, like, you will get stuck because actually that kind of raises the point of the platforming got harder in a good way.
Yeah.
Like the platforming before was very good. Kind of linear, like you'd still have to figure shit out. It was very good. Like we keep saying how this is better than Uncharted, as if Uncharted had a bunch of faults. Uncharted was really, really good.
And this is somehow better, miraculously.
But if say you're stuck for 5 minutes in Uncharted 2, what happens?
You see this little up icon for the up arrow, and it says hint.
Yeah, you don't have to take it. You do not have to take it. If you want to be a tough guy, you want to figure it out yourself. Don't have to touch the button.
And I used it a few times.
I've definitely used it before.
I ignored it a couple of times. I was just like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, I can figure this shit out.
And then like 5 minutes later,
boy.
I'm like, "Can I come back again so I can hit it?"
Yeah.
But it's really cool because what they'll do is like they'll just fix the camera and just like get to this ledge.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not a complete hint.
No.
Sometimes you still have to figure out how to get there. So it's. I don't know if it's a degrading hint system because I never saw the hint change.
I've never.
Usually
the first hint has always been enough for me. I don't know what happens if you get really, really, really stuck.
Maybe it warps you there.
It could be, but I mean, like, there's been hints even in things that I wouldn't think there would be. Like, even during action sequences, there's been hints where I died a couple times, and they're like, "Hey, look to your right." Yeah. Like seriously, it's that simple. They're like, look down, look over the cliff, and then you'll see it, and you're like, oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. But you still have to have the skills to pull it off, which is what I really appreciate about it. Like all they do is they're just like, hey, hey, you might want to look over there.
It's the guy on the shoulder, watching you play the game, but he's not a dick. He's be like, you need some help? And you're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay.
I'll be back.
I
think you might need some help. Yeah.
He's like, okay.
All right, God damn it. But the hint system on Uncharted 2 is just fucking awesome.
And everybody's going to copy it.
Everyone's going to copy it.
Okay, so
donation thanks. So we had a donation this week. We want to say thank you very, very much to Happiest Camper.
Yes, thank you very much, Happiest Camper.
So they gave us a donation, like we've said many times before, all of our web hosting, all of our wine, all of our video games, basically everything we do is because of donations. If you want to donate, go to the front page of NooBTooB.com, and there's a donation right on the right side.
Yeah, you can just do it one time, you can do recurring, which we like, but whatever helps is always awesome.
Very much. Thank you. What else?
We also have the Shoop-a-doo-doop. It's been a while. We've been gone to Japan. A lot of crazy stuff's happened. Thank you very much for Wookie Monster. But this one is called Zombie Rain. And why is that? Are we going to show the image?
We will definitely show the image. I don't know if we want to spoil the. All right, talk about it.
Okay. So it is Tobin Loves Drake.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, Tobin loves Drake.
I do love Drake.
And it's me giving Drake a big old huggy dog. Big ol' snuggles. Me and Drake getting some snuggles.
He's so strong.
Yeah,
he's so strong.
He's a good-looking man. So we had that, and we've got a whole slew of other submissions for next week's competition.
That's right.
So please, if you want to go and try your photoshopping skills, go to the forums, go to the Shoop thread.
Yeah.
And Wookie Monster puts together a bunch of screenshots from the last week's show that you can edit and put your own weird shit in.
Yeah, so basically put it up there, you basically post it in the thread, and everybody votes, which is really awesome, and whoever wins gets on the thing and also gets a newbie.
Yes, newbies! So thank you for that. So now we've got call-ins.
Yes, each week we'd like to feature a new NooBTooB arm in the show. If you have a burning question, funny story, or whatever, please give us a call.
Yes, and you can contact us toll-free at 888-233-8480. Send your files to feedback@NooBTooB.com. Also, please make sure you post them as video responses on YouTube.
That's right. And keep the odd videos under 1 minute if you want to feature on the show. Got a couple of 2-minute ones lately.
Yes.
Ain't making it.
And don't forget the yow.
Yo.
And don't mumble your name. And be interesting.
And boobies.
Boobies.
No movies.
Boobies. I'm a booby zombie.
Booby zombie.
So first up is a picture. This is not a call-in, but we just had to play it. Like, I know that in internet time, the Kanye meme is already like 1,000 years old, but I thought this was fucking hilarious. So here we go. This was from Cameron, from the Cameron Kanye picture. So that's awesome.
That's right. Fuck you, Kanye.
Yeah.
What a dick.
So.
Well, actually, thank you very much for supporting us. We actually appreciate you this time.
Yes. So thank you, Kanye, for defending us against the other gaming sites of the world. We need your support.
Mm-hmm.
So next up is Pavel, with a comment about gaming in Russia.
Yeah, this is fascinating.
Hello, Tobin, Yuzo, and all of the NooBTooBers. My name is Pavel Novikov, and I am from Russia. I listen to your show and watch for about a year. I want to tell you something about gaming industry in Russia. The thing is, console market here sucks, cause consoles here are expensive. 360 is about $400 here, and what is interesting, PlayStation 3 is cheaper, it's about $350. But the game costs are about pretty the same to United States and Europe. But the PC market is very rewarding for gamers, because the licensed games are up to date, they're translated, and they cost not more than $20 here. For instance, I bought my copy of Dawn of War 2 the day before launch, world launch, and it cost me about $17. Also, there is no ESRB here, and that's pretty much it. Yow.
That is fascinating. No ESRB in Russia.
Do you know that in Soviet Russia, games rate you? So
that's true.
Here's what I was kind of thinking. Like, as he was talking about that story, here's what I'm thinking. What if he buys games from people that are pirating them?
$17 would be a little much for a pirated game, though. So I would imagine they'd be a little cheaper.
I know, but I mean, like, there's this whole bootleg market in countries like China and Russia where people buy DVDs that are like burns, and they buy them on the street from vendors and stuff. What if he's talking about the bootleg market for games? What if people are going and downloading these PC games? Because I mean, like, you can't steal console games very well. Like, you can do it, but it's harder.
Well, yeah, you can't do it without like doing something else, right?
Yeah,
you can't. But with
PC games, like, that's what's kind of killing PC gaming is just absolute, just rampant piracy.
That is what I would question. I would question the fact that $17 seems like, especially the thing is that what I bet if it is a pirating thing, maybe they actually pirate the whole package.
Like
everything,
print
and
up
manuals,
the box,
and it looks just like something. You're like,
because
I've seen places in China where they actually do a little more than a fucking CDR.
Oh, they'll put fake holograms. They will like do fake Windows discs and stuff. So I mean, like, piracy is a big deal in a lot of countries where they're less anal than the U.S. Yes. Like in the U.S., the government will come and stomp your shit if you're pirating stuff. But I mean, in China and Russia, it's a little bit more lax.
Yeah, and it's a little surprising in Russia that the games are the same price, because if you hear about, I heard about stories in other places where like, oh yeah, a game is $100. Like Australia, it's more expensive. If you start looking at Latin America, you look at Middle East. Like, there are some fucked up situations there as far as pricing of games are concerned, as well as schedule.
Latin America, because I was going to say, like, one thing is Russia's in the middle of like an economic meltdown. Like, they're having really, really serious economic problems. I mean, it could be that the PC market is down pricing to try and get people to just keep buying games because everyone's so poor. I mean, maybe it's not piracy. Maybe it's just like, but I mean, that's so cheap.
Yeah, I know.
Like, PC games for $20.
I know. I mean, that's why games like, what is that, Stalker and all those other games are still doing really well, because, you still have that European market and the Eastern European market, Russia and all that. But
despite not being good games.
Stalker was interesting, I guess.
Stalker wasn't good.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks. That was interesting.
Yeah, thanks for the rundown. That's really cool. We like hearing about gaming in other countries. Like, if you guys want to do audio or even video, if you live...
Dude, like, go to a games shop.
Yes,
really
if you live in like Israel or Brazil,
I know.
If you live in
Middle
Africa,
East,
the Middle
Qatar,
East,
somewhere.
Basically, if you live anywhere that's not the United States
or Europe,
yeah, I mean, some place in Europe would be pretty interesting. I mean, like, but just take a video camera to your local game store. Just walk us through it. We'll play that shit on the air. We love that stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And, like, point out something that's different than what we've told you. I mean, like, if gaming is more expensive or less expensive, people send in those videos where it's like, there was a game in Australia, there's $120.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's even considering the exchange rate, it was still stupid. It was still like $90.
Yeah, I mean, look at the stuff that we showed in all of our Japan videos.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. It's just like, holy shit, they have this totally pirated game, or they have this totally weird. Like, did you see the picture I found? There's this game called Miss Peach World.
No.
So I put a picture of my picture of a retro store that I went to.
Yeah.
And they had a thing called Miss Peach World. I'm like, that's interesting. I've never seen that SNES game.
Yeah.
So it was a SNES game, but then I look, and they had the logo of Nintendo.
Yeah.
But instead of Nintendo, it said Hacker.
Oh, so it's like a totally independent, like.
But it was totally, designed. It looked like a Nintendo game, and I'm like, that kind of shit's cool.
Yeah, if you find stuff like that, if you have just any interesting gaming stuff in your town, please just grab your. I mean, like, almost any like Canon camera these days can take video. Just
cell phone can do it too.
Cell phone can take video. Just go take some video and send it in, because we love that stuff. Like, we want to see about gaming cultures in places that aren't the United States. Yes. Please send that in.
Yeah, and keep it on a minute.
Keep it under a minute, please. Yeah. So next up is K-Dubs had a little comment. He kind of wanted to bring up our earlier review of Dead Space Extraction.
Interesting.
Tobin and Yuzo, how you guys doing? K-Dubs here. Before I say anything, I'm going to start this off with a nice voice clip from 2 weeks ago.
So, yeah, Dead Space Extraction.
I was really excited about this
Ever since this game was announced, I have been shitting all over its face.
I wanted it to be good, dude.
How was it?
Like shit.
This game fucking sucks.
What?
Alright, well, today IGN posted up a review of Dead Space Extraction, and they said that they gave it an 8.5. They said it's the best on-rail shooter for the Wii. They said that is basically a true Dead Space experience that is polished to the ends of the earth. Basically, if you love Dead Space, you will love this game. Now, obviously, you guys don't feel that way, and I love Dead Space. Will I love this game? Because that's what they're saying. What do you guys think? That's all. Yeah.
How's that crow taste?
So, it wasn't quite as bad as we said.
No, but it's not a full Dead Space experience because they ain't fucking scary.
And
I will say that.
If we did give numbers, I would not say this is an 8.5. I mean, like, it's got its flaws, but it's way, way, way better than we thought. Like, when we shat on it before, we were wrong.
Yeah.
We were wrong.
And we only play, and it was from seriously a small experience of just the, not the story aspect, but
the time trials.
The time trial. And I tried the time trial, they're not all bad.
Time trials are ass. Yeah, they fucking blow.
I would not buy it based off that.
No, I stand by my evaluation. The time trials are still shit, but the story is actually very, very good. But you already heard our review of that.
Yeah. So, yes, you're right.
You're right. They're kind of right. So, and then last one up is El Spaco.
Hey YouTube, this is El Spaco, a longtime subscriber to your YouTube channel. My question is, the success of the community and the channel itself, would you guys ever consider pitching your podcast to TV channel, possibly G4 or anything like that? I was always wondered if you guys ever considered that, just to have more funds and more time to just do, what you guys love. By the way, awesome PAX vid. It was awesome. Congrats on the guy that's getting married. Is El Spaco out? Yow!
Nice.
So,
can you fucking imagine how boring this show would be if Tobin couldn't say the things he said sometimes?
So that's the thing. We've said many times in the past, like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we got a show on TV or whatever? But either the show would be all full of bleeps, or they would say that, like, you can't shit on this game because they paid for advertising for the show, or you can't call this game similar to being felched and then raped by an inmate.
You can't say rape your mom as, a good thing
I love
anymore.
to say raping moms. It's funny. So we would very much like to be, like we love making the show. We love the community. We love the more people we get out in front of, the better. Yeah. And if we could find a website, like a huge website or a big TV show that'd be willing to put us on and not censor us,
we'd be interested in it. But for the most part, for G4, we will never. The thing is, like, we'll have to cut the show down a lot to something, and we'd have to be it'd be so weird that it wouldn't be us talking about games.
It'd be you, and then it'd be like a hot girl instead of me.
And you would run on stage and say something wacky.
I know, like, hey guys, blibbity blue, and then I run back off, and it's just you with like, wait a minute, hold on, how come you get to set? All right, but yeah, I mean, they wouldn't let us keep the show the same way it is. I mean, like, we like this show the way it is. We know that it's just two dudes talking about video games for an hour on YouTube.
Totally low-key.
And tens of thousands of you guys like it that way, and we love you for it. Yes. We love you guys.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's all about fun, right? Like, we're not going to go out of our way to play games that are shit because it's not our
And we're not going to pull punches either. That's the thing. It's like, there's a lot of these... there's been huge blowback. Like, a lot of these sites have been caught. They've been caught firing dudes that gave bad reviews to games. And it's like, that's what we would do. We would go out and we'd be like, Assassin's Creed sucked.
Yeah.
Heavenly Sword sucked. Like, we'll just shit
Metal
on
Gear
these
Solid.
Metal Gear Solid 4 sucked.
It's just like... GTA 4. I mean, these are huge games where no real site worth their salt would really go that far to offend people.
No, absolutely not.
But
I mean, if you think about it, like, no one could ever thumbs down Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and we got a lot of. I mean, we still get shit, but it's shit from our viewers, and it's just like, that's okay.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool, I mean, like, as long as you guys stay civil about it, we're totally cool. So. Yeah. I wouldn't hold your breath for a NooBTooB TV show, but if you are a producer with lots of money and you would love to pay us to do this shit full time,
come on down.
Feedback at NooBTooB.com. Go ahead and email us, whatever.
But we will not sell out unless it's for...
It'd have to be a lot of money.
It'd have to be a lot of money.
Yeah, like $200 or $300.
At least.
At least.
Yes.
We're
okay.
High standards. So that is it for the week.
Yes, that's all right.
Check out our website at NooBTooB.com and participate in our forums by clicking on the forum or the community tab at the top of the front page.
Yes, if you're watching video on YouTube, make sure you click on the subscription button right over there-ish. And also rate the videos by clicking on 5 stars by rubbing Tobin's right thigh-ish
over
area.
here.
Something about that.
My Nathan Drake area.
Yeah, you know how it is. That's our this episode. I am Yuzo Watanabe.
And I am Tobin Kazai. Our audio engineering for NooBTooB is done by Range Give Me a Double Strunk. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next week. We're out.
See ya.
You got replayability. You got me sitting at the edge of my seat. You're my action adventure, and you really got me feeling the heat. You got built-in longevity, and I'm never gonna trade you in. You're a two-player game where we can only ever win. So it's hey, 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 thumbs up from me. Well, it's a real-time strategy, but I'm gonna play it to the end. 'Cause you're my main objective, you're the tower that I'm gonna defend. I don't need a walkthrough, I don't need no FAQ, for you're the